What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Midmasters here, and today I'm going to show you how to add sound deadener to your doors. So I'm sitting here in my truck, and one of the things I appreciate about newer vehicles is actually how quiet they are inside, and quite frankly, the older vehicles aren't so quiet. I live on a busy street right now. If I was to open the door, you're going to get a lot more street noise, and when I close the door, you're going to isolate a lot of that. But the one thing you can't get rid of is when you're driving and the air and everything that rattles. So you go to sound deadener. So I've already done the floor. I have a video about that, and I've done most of this back wall. But obviously one of the things that really needs to be taken care of is my doors and my headliner. So I've decided to tackle the doors. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove your door panel, and you're going to start by popping off this outer cover to your handle right there. It's going to pop off. There's going to be a Torx head bit there. I believe it's a T25, and you're going to unspin that. You'll have a screw right here. Obviously mine's kind of has an extra washer and stuff because it's old. And then of course you'll have another screw right here. Otherwise everything else is pop clips. Once you've got it popped off, it's a matter of actually lifting it up, which unhooks this top part from the actual metal door itself, and then you just have to work it around the handle. So once the door is off, I'll bring you back. All right, so I've finished cleaning and I'm getting myself arranged here. Here's the Dynamat Extreme, and I figured I'd probably only need maybe 3 sheets at most. The pack, I believe, comes with like 9 or 10. Okay, so they're in here, and you're probably wondering why I'm shooting most of this video sitting in my truck, and that's because supposedly Dynamat recommends that they store their product at room temperature, and I'm to assume that it's probably best applied at room temperature. And right now it's 49 degrees outside. That is not room temperature by my standards. So I've actually been warming up the inside of the truck, which has also been warming up the door. And that way I can technically apply it at room temperature or warmer and get around that. I also have a heat gun here with me as well, so that as I put it on, I can also apply a little extra heat as needed. Now, for the application, you're gonna need one of these rollers that they have. And I have done this before when I did the floor, and I actually used a drywall. It wasn't a drywall. It was a plastic roller you buy at like a paint store, and it broke. So you really do need something that's this heavy rubber that you can really press on and has good construction. So I recommend buying the tool. They also have this tape if you're joining multiple pieces together. Don't think we'll have to use that. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the inside of the door. Dynamat recommends 30% on that door skin is all it takes to really knock the sound down. As you can see, there is some like factory original pieces, but there's like one right here, and there's a square right here, and one Dynamat sheet could easily do one whole thing. So that's the goal there. So I'm going to roll that one on first and then bring you back. So as you saw in the footage, I cut a full sheet in half, rolled it like a taco, put it inside, and then started to roll it on. Believe it or not, this one I thought was actually easier to get into, only because I had good openings to get my hands into. This has one large opening, but it's not towards, you know, you're working at the edges. But as you saw, you know, I would pull the backing off it, roll it, pull the backing, roll it, and then obviously for this last piece, I ended up pulling it up, taking the backing off, and then we were good to go. So now the inside is done. Now let's just listen to this. I mean, that's not the, this is a, I mean, you definitely know you're not going to get that much sound resonance through this door already. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like once we do the inside. Now for the inside, like I said, cleaned it off. The big thing you're going to have to watch out for is areas that things need to mount to. So a lot of these holes are where pop clips go. You have to make sure those holes stay open so you can get your door panel back on. So that's number one there. The other place you might have some hard time with is right around your speaker. Again, screw holes for the speakers. And then of course, there's this last little bit along the bottom. I may leave this off just because this is supposed to be some kind of airing vent. So really I may only do this lower section. I may not do it at all. I have thought about not ever putting that lower piece back just because the inside door panels are kind of ugly. And this actually, just this bottom portion, right, if I just isolate it with the camera, looks really nice. And it's actually what is left exposed on the 80s years of these trucks. So who knows, but I definitely want to do the top. So I'm going to do that and I'll bring you guys back. So here we are, guys. The door is all sound deadened, and I'm telling you, you can already tell this is going to be one quiet door. I really can't wait. And it's real easy, guys. You can definitely do this. You can do it despite it being 49 degrees out by warming up the cab, keeping the product itself warm. And then of course, when you go buy it, please buy this rubber wheel, because this really helps you to get into those harder to reach places and really contour the stuff and make it fit really well. If you do it with your fingers would be sore after a job like this. So that's something to keep in mind. As far as method for this, I cut the full sheet in half, and I did this side first, and then I did this side, and then I kind of did strips. So this is one strip, that's a strip, and then this is one separate piece. I just didn't feel the need to flop a whole piece over this and try to work it that way. You'll just lose things. Now I left this side and this side open so I could access those pop clips. I really didn't see the need to cover them. Now for the bottom, obviously I did cut out these here. And then as I said earlier, I didn't put any sound deadener here because I would like to leave that exposed in the future, and I don't feel like having to scrape this stuff off. So really give this, guys, really give this project a go. These trucks are pretty loud in here, and this is just one step to a quieter cab, especially on the highway, or for some of us that like to wake up the neighbors with a loud exhaust. So guys, that's all for me. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minimasters. Thanks for watching.